Hi there, this is Dr. Noel Christian. In this video, I will explain on how you can use back titration method to determine concentration of sodium hydroxide at the outlet point of a PFTR. Okay, so you will apply this in one of the practical in your 5204. Okay, so we'll be using this setup. Okay, quite simple. In the reactant, we have reactant tank, we have sodium hydroxide concentration 0.02 mole per liter, volume is 10 liter, is being pumped at 1 liter per minute. And then we have ethyl acetate 0.02 mole per liter, the volume is 10 liter, being pumped at 1 liter per minute also. These two feed stream will join into a single stream just before entering the plug flow tubular reactor. Let's say the plug flow tubular reactor is already designed, the tube diameter is 4 mm and then the tube length is 70.8 meter. Okay, and then we know the reaction is an elementary reaction. The reaction is like this: sodium hydroxide plus ethyl acetate to form sodium acetate plus ethanol. To simplify, A is sodium hydroxide, B is ethyl acetate. The rate constant at 30 degrees Celsius is 0.208 liter per mole second. So since both reactants are being pumped at 1 liter per minute, so that means the total flow rate at the inlet point at this point will be 2 liter per minute. Okay, so we want to determine the concentration of sodium hydroxide at the point where it comes out from the plug flow tubular reactor. So when it comes out from the plug flow tubular reactor, there's still unreacted sodium hydroxide. There's also unreacted ethyl acetate. This unreacted sodium hydroxide and unreacted ethyl acetate will continuously react, okay, until reaching completion. So we don't want that, because that will not give us the true concentration of sodium hydroxide at this point. So immediately we have to stop the reaction between sodium hydroxide and ethyl acetate. At this point, we have to stop the reaction between sodium hydroxide and ethyl acetate. So how to stop the reaction? We have to add another chemical that will react with one of them. So the simplest is sodium hydroxide is a base. So we can just add an acid so that the acid-base reaction will happen. So the easiest way is by adding hydrochloric acid. So let's say when we collect the sample, inside the container we already have a certain amount of hydrochloric acid. Let's say we have 20 milliliter of 0.1 mole per liter of hydrochloric acid. Okay, and then let's say we collect the sample, okay, from the outlet, and then the amount of sample collected is 100 milliliter. Okay, 100 milliliter. So by the way, how long does it take? How long does it take to collect 100 milliliter of sample? So the time will be, we want to collect 0.1 liter, 100 milliliter. The total volumetric flow rate is 2 liter per minute. Okay, so then we can change the unit from second to minute. Okay, then this will give us 3 seconds. So it's very fast. Okay, 3 seconds. So we collect the sample for 3 seconds, we'll get 100 milliliter. Okay, so once the sample enters this container that contains this hydrochloric acid, there will be reaction. Okay, so now let's apply the reaction table. So what is the initial, okay, the initial mole of hydrochloric acid? It will be 0.02 liter. Okay, 20 milliliter is 0.02 liter times 0.1 mole per liter. Okay, so it's equal to 0.002 mole. So that is the initial mole of hydrochloric acid. How about the sodium hydroxide? Okay, let's say at this point the concentration of sodium hydroxide, okay, is usually we denote CAL. This is equal to X. Okay, let's say it's X. So that means the mole of sodium hydroxide inside this 100 milliliter will be 0.1 liter, because 100 milliliter is 0.1 liter times the concentration is X. Okay, that is the initial concentration of sodium hydroxide. Okay, and then reaction happen. Now, the hydrochloric acid that we added here, right, must be in excess. Okay, so that the sodium hydroxide become the limiting reactant and will react 100%. So how many sodium hydroxide reacted will be 0.1 X. Okay, how many hydrochloric acid reacted will also be 0.1 X, because it's a 1-to-1 reaction. 1 mole of sodium hydroxide reacted, there will be 1 mole of hydrochloric acid reacted. So also the amount of hydrochloric acid reacted will be 0.1 X. So in the end, the number of mole of hydrochloric acid will be 0.002 minus 0.1 X, while the sodium hydroxide, okay, all will react, so in the end will be 0. So that is the number of moles of hydrochloric acid, okay, will be 0.02 minus 0.1 X. Okay, so now we have 120 milliliter of this solution, because 100 milliliter of sample plus 20 milliliter of 100 milliliter of the sample plus 20 milliliter, so we will have 120 milliliter. And then the HCl concentration inside that 120 milliliter will be 0.02 minus 0.1 X divided by the volume 0.12. This will be the concentration of HCl final at the end of the reaction. Okay, this is final. Okay, while this one is initial. Okay, so now from this 120 milliliter solution, I will take 20 milliliter and put it inside this volumetric flask. So when I take 20 milliliter out of this 120 milliliter, the concentration remain the same, because there's no addition, there's no dilution, so the concentration remain the same, because we are just taking some part of the solution out of this 120 milliliter. So the concentration in this flask is the same as the concentration in this big container. So the concentration is 0.002 minus 0.1 X divided by 0.12. The volume is 20 milliliter. Okay, and then we will perform titration. Okay, inside the burette we will have, let's say, sodium hydroxide, the concentration 0.02 mole per liter, and then the volume is 25 milliliter. Okay, so we'll perform titration. Okay, we add the titrant dropwise, and then don't forget to add the indicator. Okay, and then we add dropwise until the color solution inside the flask change. Okay, the point where the color change is the point where all the hydrochloric acid has reacted with the sodium hydroxide. Okay, I believe you have done titration before, so we can simply use this equation. The concentration of HCl in the flask times the volume of HCl in the flask will be equal to the concentration of sodium hydroxide in the burette times the volume of sodium hydroxide required to neutralize the hydrochloric acid. Okay, so now let's try to use some numbers. Okay, if you sub in all these values, you will obtain concentration of A in the exit point to be 0.009 mole per liter. Therefore, with this concentration of A in the outlet point, the conversion of A will be 10%. Okay, so that means X will be 0.009. So if you follow the previous steps, okay, when you do the titration, okay, let's work out the concentration of HCl first. The concentration of HCl will be 0.002 minus 0.1 times X will be 0.009 divided by 0.12. Okay, this will be, okay, you can press your calculator. 0.2 minus 0.0009 divided by 0.12. Okay, will be 0.00916 mole per liter. Okay, so the concentration of HCl is 0.00916. The volume of HCl is 20 milliliter. Okay, in the flask, concentration sodium hydroxide is 0.02. Okay, and then what will be the volume of sodium hydroxide required in the burette? So we can work out the volume of sodium hydroxide in the burette required will be, okay, times 20 divided by 0.02 will be 9.16. Okay, you will need 9.16 milliliter of this sodium hydroxide 0.02 mole per liter when you do the titration. So not too much, not too little. So to summarize, for your practical, you can use this sodium hydroxide 0.02 mole per liter in the burette for the titration. Okay, and then when you collect the sample, you can use 20 milliliter of 0.1 mole per liter of HCl, and then the amount of sample collected, you can collect 100 milliliter. Okay, and then out of that 120 milliliter, you can just take 20 milliliter to perform the titration. Okay, so hopefully with this explanation, you'll be able to design your back titration method easily, so that you can determine the concentration of sodium hydroxide at the outlet point of a PFTR. So with that, I will end the video. Thank you.